Let's call the meeting to order, and have a roll call. Start with Nancy.
Nancy Bell, Ripon Public Library Director.
Lisa Weeks, Board President.
Doug Iverson, Board Vice President.
Janet Bosco, member.
And Tiffany Brock, County Board Rep.
Yes. Okay. So we are here to review and discuss the proposal for the 2026 budget. Nancy, would you like to give us an overview? And first, before we start that, I need to apologize to you. Because the last meeting, I think I just failed to include your name. I'm really poorly.
Okay.
So we'd like to have.
I was getting paranoid when you said there was gonna be a second meeting and then nothing came the second time. I came into
Yeah.
Nancy and said,
Okay, included you on that one.
yes, you did, but I was like,
She's like, where was the
before,
first one?
because in the minute, you were discussing it at the, I watched the meeting and they said, oh, we'll have to have another one real quick. And like 2 weeks later, nothing again, and then I'm thinking, I don't know.
You can have the whole floor this entire meeting.
And I did include in the second packet, the first draft information is also there, in case you're curious exactly about what we talked about last time. So I have multiple documents here. So the budget draft, number 2, that is on the big screen as well. So if we just stay flat with the county, which we're not going to, we're gonna ask for an increase, we would have a $16,900 or $823 deficit if everything stayed flat. So the fund balance is in yellow, because Sean is still working on what exactly the tax levy fund balance is from unspent funds from last year. So we should be able to use whatever that fund balance is to offset I'm hoping a big chunk of the $16,000 deficit. So he has to separate the tax levy fund balance from our OACF fund balance, so that we're not necessarily using, donated dollars for operational costs.
So, just I mean, we have to, so we voted on it, and it didn't happen. And so, Adam is still saying we have undesignated funds. So you remember voting on it, right? We, 10, 50, and then
Yes.
50 designated as,
You're sitting here.
I printed out the minutes,
Okay.
so.
but it didn't happen, and so he's still seeing it as undesignated, but we have to make it happen, so. As soon as we can, I don't know what the steps are for that, but.
I know, so what Janet is referring to is that, so at the 2023 August meeting, there's minutes later in your packet. At the August full board meeting in 2023, the board voted to separate the general Ripon Library Fund at OACF into 5 separate funds and then another reserve fund. So each of the 5 funds would be transferring $10,000 out and then holding $250,000 in reserve.
Which is what Adam recommended, there was a
Right.
percentage of our annual budget, and he said we should have this percentage in reserve, and so that was following that.
Yes, so those accounts were never created,
Oh.
even though it was discussed again in 2024 and the recommendation was again the same flavor, it was the same thing with the 10 funds, yes.
So we're gonna talk about how we create those at another meeting?
Well, they're created
They're not created.
according to the minutes.
Yeah, according to the minutes, they were voted upon, but there were no agreements signed and turned into OACF to actually make the funds.
That's what they need.
I think that's what they need.
Okay.
I've emailed Carlene Grabner, who is our account manager over at OACF, to have a conversation about it because it's been in the minutes since 2023. So I'm sure she's a little frustrated with us as well, to be like, you guys never made the funds.
Okay.
So
Well,
that is
we
that.
can rectify that going forward. Is there,
Yes.
oh, never mind, I was gonna say, is there a reason we did it, but you just said it was because they haven't recommended it. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, that was something we talked about for quite a while.
yes, it's been in conversation for at least 2 years and probably before that as well. So right now, it's all of the money is sitting there's 2 funds instead of 7. So there's just the general fund, which has, as of yesterday or earlier today, $641,000, and then there's the renovation specific fund, which has about $700,000 in it.
What was the first one again, I'm sorry, it's on here somewhere.
Yeah, it's further in, I think one more page, Janet.
This is the minutes.
Yeah, think I did a breakdown on the next page.
You wrote it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
So
That's
600.
the 300.
So that would be the 300 that was previously allocated in 2023 and 2024, but we currently have 641,000 in the general account.
So that would take 300 out of it.
Right, yes, and designate it to specific accounts. So with those designations, there's still $341,000 that are unassigned. So we would probably need to
Though,
create these funds and then assign the additional money into those funds and then allocate and spend them.
well, I think why we left them in there besides that 300 was that we assumed the renovation would come back and want more money. We
Yeah,
wanted to have some
yeah,
left
absolutely.
for that if there was overruns. So I don't think Adam would want us, or the city would want us to spend all that.
No,
Okay,
no, for sure. I just think that like it obviously needs more conversation because the last time it was discussed, there was half the amount of money
Right.
that there is now. So if there needs to be, I don't know, higher caps on some of these things or, I don't know, whatever.
it could be even different amounts that we choose to put in them.
But we should
Yeah.
get the accounts created then,
But yeah, so step one would be just creating the
Yep,
accounts.
okay.
with
Creating the
those,
funds.
obviously,
Yeah, so,
Do you, if there's something you need from me or from any of the board members, just make sure, obviously, I know you will, but, just, I'm extending the help if you need
Absolutely,
it, so, okay,
yeah.
alright.
yeah, I will definitely be reaching out. I didn't actually know about the multiple funds, and then,
And
Yeah.
we're learning together.
Well, and I think, we did some voting on how money is moved around in the OACF, so, or withdrawn from, so if we can follow those guidelines, I don't, something about the president and the
Library
director,
director,
and
yeah.
how they,
actually
there was
transfer
a
money.
specific procedure, maybe that's what we need to do when we create these funds too, I don't.
Definitely more homework I need to do on it.
Yeah, and I
So-
think we would like to err on the side of creating more documentation rather than less. I think previously we're doing it via email when we spend.
I don't know, this is pretty clear.
This is, yes, agreed, I'm just saying that before we do
Happy we were
anything-
that clear.
Apparently we need to be clearer
Yes.
because we dropped the ball somewhere, so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it just got kind of lost in the shuffle when Desiree was leaving.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
she was
yeah, that's true.
communicating with Carlene all the way up till she left about these funds. And then with Desiree leaving, it never got picked up again. And so now it's a year later.
And here you are.
And here I am, trying to pick it up again. So in general, so if we just like quickly look over these, so $14,000 difference for full-time salaries, $11,000 difference for part-time, overtime, I just did like a 2.8% increase. Health insurance and retirement are luckily where we're getting a little bit of money back, we're not spending as much money.
How does that
I'm not,
happen?
I'm not as expensive as Desiree, is what happened.
You don't have any children.
I don't have any children, so my health insurance is just a single person, and then I'm not making as much money as Desiree, so my retirement contribution is less.
Well, thank God.
I mean, that makes sense, I haven't been here for 20 years.
Right.
And then a bunch of items in here are actually staying flat, just because there hasn't been any increases. Professional services, which is our second largest allocation, from our general expenses. Winnifox, the cost of that, all the services that they provide us is staying flat. So that gets to stay flat.
Can you discuss social security, doesn't that seem like a huge jump?
Oh, it went down just because I don't make as
Social
much.
security is red though.
No, Social Security is red.
What happened there?
I think that is just,
I don't think-
oh, the Social Security contribution increased, the
Percentage,
percentage increased,
really?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it went up to like 7.2, and it was 6.9 or something.
No, but I knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a very large gross spreadsheet that tells me.
That's not a big deal, people.
Cool, and then this additional 2,400 is the copier agreement that we did not previously pay for, that was previously paid
That's
for by
right.
friends. That's why that's such a,
Is that offset by
Large increase.
income?
what was that?
Is that offset by income that will then come to us instead of to the friends?
Yes, correct.
Do we have any idea what it could be, what that income could be?
I think a lot of, so it hasn't been set yet because we just started it this year, so we don't know what to base
Okay.
the increase in income yet.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So Sean is tracking that this year, but because it's so new, we have no idea what that income will actually be. Otherwise, I believe it's just gonna feed into this library fines and fees up at the top for part of our income.
Yep.
Okay,
And then, okay, publications, dues and subscriptions. So I did my best to cut some stuff. So when we get to the itemized, we can talk more about that. It's still increased by $450. We had discussed, at the board meeting, restarting the community organization funds so that staff members can be part of the Rotary Club and Kiwanis, and have that paid for by the library, which is about $475.
Say that one more time, what is that?
Sure, so we had talked about in the publications, dues and subscriptions item line, about providing the registration costs for being part of community organizations, like the Rotary and the Kiwanis.
Oh, I've thought that for years.
Yes, so it is in our employee handbook that we should be providing it as a benefit, but the line item had disappeared last year.
Okay, yeah,
So-
no, I thought we should do that. They pay for their own lunch maybe, but then the
They do, yeah, correct.
fee to the
The actual
lawn.
fee to
Yeah,
be a
okay.
member, yeah, that would just be the membership fee.
Yep.
Operational supply is a small increase just because library cards are so expensive. And then a small increase to our other supplies and expenses, which are our book budget.
On the, I know this is kind of, I don't wanna nickel and dime, but
No.
did you, I know we talked about looking for an alternative to the expensive cards that we get. Were you
Yes.
able to,
I've reached out to 2 different companies. I got a call back from one today, they're gonna send a quote tomorrow. So I can look into it more. Yeah, once we look at itemized.
So for the system, it's only the barcode that matters to them.
Yeah,
You
for
can slap
system,
anything on the
yeah,
card, okay.
Yeah, and like we had been using a separate vendor, so like we get our actual physical cards from one vendor and then we get the barcodes from a different vendor. So they really do not care as long as like the barcodes
Right.
are unique and everything's good.
I just wanna say that my card has lasted 20 some
yeah, I've
years.
had mine on.
So
Yeah, mine
they are
is
good
a long
cards.
time.
mine is missing the orange.
It's an albino card now.
Yeah, I'm old.
They really last.
So if we look at the itemized one, so it goes further into detail on there. So if we're looking at the publications, dues and subscriptions, so with the magazine, the miscellaneous magazines, which are really all the adult magazines, scroll for it. So we still need like an increase of $500 for that. It currently, what we actually are spending this year on just magazines is about $2,700. We currently spend almost $1,800 for newspaper subscriptions already this year, so we are already underfunded on those. So newspaper subscriptions, we can cut 2 papers and we can get it under 1,000.
What, 2?
That would be cutting the New York Times and the Oshkosh Northwestern.
That's fine.
Aren't we supposed to have our local paper though? Isn't that our job?
We do, we have,
We have the Berlin paper, we have the Ripon paper.
Yeah, but I mean the one that reports more. I guess they don't anymore. I've heard they're not, Fond du Lac, not Carson took right anymore.
I dropped my own subscription to
Okay.
Fond du Lac Reporter.
yeah, and we have the Fond du Lac Reporter. So we get the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, the Fond du Lac Reporter, we would still be getting the Berlin Journal, Green Lake Reporter, and the Ripon Commonwealth.
No state journal?
So those would be staying. We would, we
Wisconsin
just,
State Journal?
no, we don't get that one. Mm, Yeah,
Can
so just those 2 would be cut, yes.
Would it be worth checking, like, Wisconsin Journal, or, just checking around to see what kind of rate they might give us for our library?
The Wisconsin State Journal? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that one, I mean, maybe it's gonna be insanely expensive, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, we took it at home because we thought it would have more of the state stuff in it. You know, it's supposed to be the official kind of Wisconsin state news, but we dropped it and went back to the Milwaukee one. It wasn't that good, so I don't know. And it was fairly expensive.
But also would it be worth checking to get the Journal Sentinel, find it, every day of the week? How much of a cost difference would that be?
I think it's a big difference, so Wednesday and Sunday,
Probably.
Wednesday and Sunday is $380 right now,
A year?
yeah,
Okay,
just for Wednesday and Sunday, so probably, I don't know, I can look into it, I think when I looked into it for Shauna, it was almost like $700 for the full week.
I think you
Okay.
need one good newspaper that comes daily, and if you're dropping the New York Times,
Yeah.
that's all that's left.
Yeah.
and how much was the Times?
The Times this year was 270, because
Well, it's always a couple days late.
it was always late / it would not arrive, which we're spending my time on calling customer service at that point.
Right, that doesn't make any sense. They're not printing it locally, they're shipping it to us.
It was coming through the mail.
It was coming through the mail.
What about Milwaukee, is that one dropped outside?
Milwaukee's is dropped off.
Okay,
So
we
that
gotta
would be
stick,
more reliable, that would be the day off.
yeah, we gotta stick with that one then.
Yeah, so when I was talking to staff about it, just trying to figure these out. So I think we got like such a low rate on the New York Times, because we're getting the new subscription rate.
Oh, yeah, I
So
did
what
that too.
Yeah, so what has happened is like,
Yeah.
we changed the name on the account every single year we subscribe, so we get a new subscriber rate.
Yeah.
It's just not super manageable,
No, I would imagine not.
No,
so again, it's like we're
Okay.
spending the time
I
as
used that
opposed
one 6 years ago, might be okay, it's fine.
well,
yeah,
I mean, the issue really is it's not timely. Who wants to read a 3-day-old paper, and then if you're spending time, I mean, you can't get electronic on any of these for libraries, you talked about that at the meeting, right?
right, yeah,
Jeez.
there's not a good mechanism for any of these. Yeah, I know,
This is when newspapers are dying.
yeah.
Mhm.
Slash a lot of the newspapers too, like I know like the Oshkosh Northwestern, the Green Bay Press Gazette and the Appleton Post Crescent are all like the same paper.
Yeah, they're all-
USA Today or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
USA
USA.
Today, it's like they're all owned by the same company, so they just change like very
There'll be
small
Green Bay
amounts.
articles in the Milwaukee one.
Yeah,
Back and
yeah,
forth.
exactly.
But I do think we need one, I just think we do,
Yeah.
and obviously Ripon.
Mm-hmm.
How much,
You know, we get
for
the Green
Green
Lake.
Lake and Berlin, that's not much.
Green Lake and Berlin is combined and is $47.
Okay, that's,
It's nothing compared
in
to.
Wisconsin Farmer, how's that one?
Wisconsin Farmer was also 47, but that one was like donated to us last year.
Oh,
And then it's not really popular, so we weren't.
I used to read that all the time.
So we did actually have, now that reminds me, we have people bring in their paper
Yeah.
the next morning. Not opposed to putting it out if they have their,
Yeah.
Oshkosh Fun like paper or their New York Times that they wanna donate. I mean, it'd probably get here faster with the.
It probably would, honestly.
I don't know if it's worth advertising, but certainly if they wanted to do that, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
How much was the reporter? For Fun Life?
the Fun Life Reporter is $4.90.
Oh,
Yeah,
Or what?
so
Do we
it's,
need that?
I would say, honestly, you could probably, cause like, often what's in the reporter is in the Journal Sentinel, if it's like a statewide news anyway, and like I said, I dropped my own subscription, because even though
That's
like,
ridiculous. It's not even that big of a paper.
no, it's
no,
not.
there was, and it's so much of it ends up just being national, you know,
yeah,
it's
it's big,
USA
it's
Today.
yeah.
What would the
So-
New York Times be if you had to pay their regular rate? I think it's something like, it's only like 15 a month or something, isn't it? I'm not paying that much for it.
I don't actually know off the top of my head. I feel like it's actually pretty expensive. I wanna say it's similar to what the Fond du Lac is. I wanna
I
say it's at
mean,
least
you could swap them out or just drop them.
Yeah.
So I would suggest dropping the Fun Life paper,
Okay,
looking at the Journal Sentinel 7 days a week,
okay.
and maybe looking at another statewide paper. That would be a reasonable cost, even if it's just,
Weekly, it could be.
or a weekly, or several weekly papers from around the state, maybe, I don't know, does anybody, but if we're just kind of looking for news that's happening around the state, maybe something that's over La Crosse or Eau Claire, or the Dells or someplace like that, and you're looking to see what that local paper is writing about, and you're just, oh, that's interesting. I don't know.
Does the State
Yeah.
Journal have a Sunday only? Wisconsin State Journal?
I have no idea.
The problem with that then is someone's gotta be there, well, the one's there,
Comes in the mail.
comes in the mail, but no one's gonna read it during the summer because the libraries aren't open in the summer.
Yeah.
on a Sunday.
Yeah, but they're usually features that
That's
are
true.
not stale all week, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, well, that's something to just talk about.
Yeah, absolutely, I mean, we're kind of just discussing exactly which
The-
version we
Yeah, the
wanna
Fond
go
du
with.
Lac reporter just seems like,
And you're gonna
No.
keep getting Oshkosh, and it seems like one or the other.
Yeah, that's kind of what my feeling was
Yeah.
like either we get the Fond du Lac Reporter or the Oshkosh Northwestern. The Oshkosh Northwestern is more expensive than the Fond du Lac Reporter.
yeah, and that's the problem, but I don't see the Oshkosh paper being better.
I don't either.
I would seriously look about getting the Journal Sentinel. someday.
Just 7 days a week, okay.
And, you know, so this is what we got, if you wanna donate,
Okay,
and look and see if we can find some weeklies around, maybe other libraries
yeah,
have ideas too.
okay.
Maybe we can get there, whether we can just rotate papers around the,
Yeah,
you
change
know,
it
okay, you have
every-
Mondays and
I see here.
they have Sundays now, and
So you don't use the New York Times Book Review
I've read it before, but
for, book reviews for order?
No.
Okay.
No, we, I know Susie and Linda use Publishers Weekly
Yep.
and School Library Journal. Those are the two big ones.
You don't get Kirkus and Booklist?
no,
We get book list, we
Okay.
don't get Kirkus. Yeah, book list is a different, so that's under magazine subscriptions.
Kirkus, awesome.
I do love Kirkus.
Huh?
I love Kirkus.
Yeah.
I love how zesty their
Yeah,
reviews.
they're honest,
They're very honest, they
they
do not
just shoot
care.
it out there and you get a good idea what that book's about.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of where we land on newspapers, and that's
Okay.
why I think we can get under $1,000 for newspapers, because I think that there's a lot of overlap, all the papers are very similar, so we kind of just have to pick
Right.
exactly which one we want. And then magazines are harder, so in
Mhm.
order for it to be kind of impactful on the budget, we would have to cut like 20 magazines.
ouch,
So
they really got us, don't
yeah, so it's like even at cutting 10, we can leave it at 2,500. So by cutting 10 magazines and cutting 2 papers, we're exactly at tier 1 by our standards. If we cut anything else, it's like we're below the standards.
I don't wanna do that. I will vote against that, yeah.
they? Well, maybe you could bring us a list of magazines that you wanna cut, and maybe, is there any other ones we could get that might be a little bit less?
We can definitely, I have like a massive, I'm looking into streamlining our magazine subscriptions because
Yeah.
right now one person is managing all of them and it's 104 subscriptions between our magazines and our newspapers right now.
And you don't use the service anymore, you order each one.
Yeah, they do each one individually, so we're looking to getting a service and they actually give us a little bit of a discount, so these numbers are actually based on like the discounted number from the service that we would be getting.
Yeah.
As a Will's Library, they give us like between 10 and 20% off on all magazines,
Okay.
if we just like purchase in bulk. So that is, let me go back to this. So this giant spreadsheet, so WG Cox is one of the vendors we're looking into. So yeah, all of the like the crossed outs are like, we could get rid of these, but like it's not enough of an impact on the budget and we would be trading services for pennies
Yeah, I
basically.
understand that, some of those are magazines that come in and read sometimes, like.
Yeah,
They'll
Why
definitely be defending the dropping of the Fond du Lac Reporter, so.
I know, so it's like, yeah, dropping that amount
What about
of
US
magazines for
Weekly?
so little impact doesn't
I
feel
was
like it's
just
worth
looking
it.
at that, I'm like, how many?
Why is that like
Which one?
$85?
US Weekly?
It's so popular.
Is it, what
It's
is it?
so
Is that like a
popular.
gossip magazine?
Yes.
Okay, that is
Oh,
something I think I was.
Yes,
that's
it
why they
is.
charge you so much,
Oh
huh?
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, I desperately want to
Wouldn't
get
it
rid
be
of
cheaper to
it.
get the Inquirer?
Ah,
Maybe they
don't.
look into it.
Don't.
So what, Nancy, what other
Yes.
ones do we have up there? Is that it, is there more than
No,
one?
No, so
I didn't really, okay,
there's
well,
a lot.
you know what, looking at them, they're all
They should, we need
they're
them,
all kind of fairly
they're defendable.
reasonable.
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
bucks for, what, 12 issues? That's not really too
Right,
bad.
exactly.
Right.
You know, and I'm looking at, Good Homes and Gardens, I think that would be a popular one.
Mm-hmm.
Bon Appetit, that's
So
super.
that's two, is that 2 years ago,
Yeah, that's 2
37
years.
per year?
Yeah, so I asked when we talked to the the vendor if we could do like a maximum
Yeah.
year amount to
Okay.
like decrease the cost as much as possible year to year. So all of these, like if it's possible, they put in a multi-year, so it's like $31 for 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes more sense,
Yeah.
like then
Right.
37 for 2 years, that's not
Right.
bad at all.
So like they're all super defendable, and all of the ones that are left on there, they circulate like crazy. Like each copy is circulated 4 or 5 times,
Wow.
so.
I think we need them all. I mean, I wouldn't cut here.
Alright, well,
Personally.
that's very, I didn't realize how popular they were.
I didn't either, yeah, they're really
We
popular.
still have on there the Wisconsin, State Historical Journal.
So
Yes,
that was on.
we
Was
do.
it on there? I missed it.
We do.
I actually come to read
It's
that
all
one.
just alphabetical, so Wisconsin.
Natural resources, what we'll call
Yeah, we have natural resources, is there on TV?
Oh, it's a quarterly magazine.
Yeah,
No,
I know we get it,
yes, I know, Calvin
I
Redding.
know we get it, yeah. I think that's a separate,
I think it must be separate.
I think it's on a separate line.
Well, maybe it couldn't come through that service too, I don't know.
Yeah, Wisconsin Historical Society is a separate
Yeah.
Yeah.
item on there specifically, cause I
That's
think we
not
can only
outrageous,
get it
is it?
separate.
Oh,
Yeah.
because-
Cause I think we're members of Wisconsin Historical Society and then they send us the magazine.
Oh, okay,
I
that's
think
good.
that's what happens.
I mean, I don't see anything except for the gossip magazine. Like,
But
Yeah.
then
It'd be $20 for
Yeah.
12 issues, or even if it's
Yeah.
quarterly, that, with the printing
It
and
goes
shipping
out 5
costs,
times, yeah,
that's
Yeah.
not really outrageous.
no.
No, it's not outrageous, they circulate really well, and yeah.
What
they
happened to
can-
Wired?
Yeah, we're gonna, I crossed out some that I was like, if we have to
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
cut anything.
I would say, yeah, that would be one, and
These, like, the
Wisconsin
cross
Natural
outs are the
Resources.
ones that probably circulate the least out of the super popular ones. So like
Okay.
if we absolutely had to, but the ones that I cut that we
Would you
absolutely
be dropping the
need to.
Smithsonian? That's a good magazine.
Yeah,
How much
I
is
know, I
that?
like the Smithsonian
I
too.
know, and it's just like, but again, this is like bottom of the barrel,
Okay.
really reaching.
So these are only if you have to, otherwise we'd get everything we see.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, we would be getting everything we see. The only ones we wouldn't are probably the ones in blue, cause they just don't circulate. They've had 0 or 1 circulations on each of their copies for the blue ones. But everything else are.
What do you
Surprised
guys
Cosmo
do?
isn't circulating.
I don't know, if I can't get my Cosmo, and it's in the library to read it, what
You know
will I
what,
do?
don't worry, you've still got Cricket.
You still
Oh,
get it.
good,
Yeah, we got baby bug, it's all good.
oh, good, I don't know
But yeah.
what those are, I don't wanna know.
Yeah, so myself and one of the library assistants, Robin, we really went through this list and we're like, okay, if we absolutely have to cut things.
Okay,
But again, like, we would
how
have
much
to
is
cut
how much is the
30
municip-
of them to decrease by like
how much is the
500.
municipality on there? So we-
Municipality,
Yeah, I just saw it.
The city should.
1794,
Okay, well, that's pretty reasonable.
Why do we get People and US Weekly?
they both circulate.
$91?
Yeah.
That's just not fair.
Yeah, I listed these based on price and was like, does it circ? It circs like crazy. Like,
Of course
People
it
in US
does.
Weekly are like 7, 9, 10 checkouts per copy.
Keep it,
Yeah,
Yeah, we have to.
we have to, so.
And honestly, I mean, even if you cut 10 magazines, we're not really saving
no,
that
it's
much
a,
money.
they know,
Maybe we
Yeah.
need to focus our cuts elsewhere.
Maybe
bigger
it's like-
things.
Yeah,
Maybe it's like $500, maybe.
yeah,
Maybe.
it maybe
Okay.
that, it's like if we cut 20 to 30 magazines, we're saving $400, it's like.
You know what I mean, it's just not gonna give us.
Yeah, it's just
No,
not,
it's not.
it's not
We
worth
need
it
to look at
almost.
Bigger things.
I mean, we're pretty much a skeleton budget, I will say that, like, we don't really have that
Yeah.
much fat, I mean,
It's been like this for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
We're still here.
we're still
Yes,
here,
we are.
still
Still
functioning.
here.
So, on these, like, so because our book budget is increasing by such a small amount compared to this current year, I didn't increase these lines, cause the increase of books, the increase of price of books and shipping, we're not gonna have more materials than we have in the past, so there's no reason to increase our, like, processing materials if we don't have the stuff to process
What
them.
about getting that book budget back up?
I mean, I would love to,
Well, we got the ebook budget going up.
yeah, it's cause we took these 2 away. These the $2,700 for adult books on CD and adult CDs.
You put that all into ebook?
I put it all into ebooks.
Ah!
I know, I'm sorry. The adult books on CD and the adult CDs aren't circulating anymore.
No, I don't mean
Yeah.
that, get rid of them, but put it in books, not ebooks.
Yeah, we should be putting in
Pretty
ebooks
popular,
for this next year specifically, because 2/3 of our collection's gonna be in storage.
But then when we go back, that's my fear.
Yeah.
Once you get there, then you look at it and say,
Well, you have
let's
to
do
be
this
here next
again,
year
you
and
know.
just say, no, we're going back to print books.
I
And I
was-
will be there to back you up
Thank
because
you.
I don't like ebooks.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are good for people, but I
Yes,
just,
they are.
I need
I
to
don't
hold
like
it
them.
in my
I do not
hand.
like
I
them.
know, me too.
And I bought a nice new fighter or whatever
Yeah.
it was, and
Yeah, I
it
can
loads really fast, way easier buying things on it.
Right.
Stop it.
And you can enlarge the print, which I
Yep.
like, but
And
I
I
just
learned
can't
to
do
do
it.
my little,
Yeah, no,
So I would love to just only increase the book budget, but because 2/3 of our collection is going into storage next year, we won't have the space to put new stuff, and then at the end of the year, we're gonna be racing trying to get all the new stuff.
so seriously, we have half as many large print as adult books, nonfiction and fiction?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
yes. As someone who needs the large print books, yes.
Yeah, but half the adult book budget is large.
That does seem a lot, to be honest.
It does seem a lot, the thing about large print is that they're more expensive,
Mhm.
but they also last way longer because, and more people use them.
Really.
Yeah,
Well,
large print is
2/3
impossible to weed at every library because every single book checks out every year. It's crazy how much they're used,
Because we don't care what we're reading, we just want to.
I take one if I have to, they're too heavy, they're just too heavy.
they're very big.
That
They're very
Yeah.
big, but they're also manufactured better than regular books, they last longer
Yeah.
because they have stronger aluminum. So, yeah.
What about the DVDs? How are those circulating?
DVDs are circulating wildly well for us.
Really?
Does that include Blu-ray?
Okay, I gave them up, no
Why,
problem.
no,
Stream it, come on.
I know, yeah, the DVDs circulate.
I would say children's you
Incredible.
want, but
Right, but the adult
adult,
ones
that's
seem-
interesting.
Yeah,
That's
even the
incredible.
adult ones,
Well,
they,
I've heard though that like it's harder to find stuff on physical copies of DVDs, like have you run into that where like it's harder to find?
They don't
things to
even put it
set
out
the budget
on-
on? Yeah, it's so much.
it depends, so
easier.
much of it is like created by the streaming service, like Apple TV and so yeah, we do have to be really careful with what vendor, if we're purchasing off of Amazon, we have to be really careful not buying like a pirated copy.
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember into that.
Yeah,
That would look bad.
yeah, it's happened, I know Apple's
There's
done
surprises
that.
right there in line.
So yeah, so it is difficult to do it and it's really hard because you have to have that conversation of why we don't have this very popular TV series. It's like, cause Apple made it and they don't make a DVD for it, so we're doing our
What
best.
was the last survey you did, but way before your time, we did a survey about what people wanted. And I wonder if books versus ebooks was on there, but the answer probably isn't good anymore, that was 3 years ago or
Or
more.
I think it was before COVID.
Whatever they said could be different now, so
Yeah,
but maybe it's worth somehow finding out if people are,
yeah. Let's see. I'm just writing it down real quick.
Put it at the top of the journal, set in a question. Go online and say whether you prefer print books or ebooks at your public library. No one would answer.
Oh, and then, yeah, I just highlighted this as well, so 428517 is exactly at tier 1, which is the lowest of the
For our
16.
size, what is the size library that we're in that
So it's
range?
based on service population is probably the most accurate one because we get reimbursed by all the counties. So our service population is 11,588.
And what are the range? Are we at the lower range or upper range of that?
We're mid,
Okay,
we're exactly mid.
Alright.
Yeah, so our range is 9,000 to 12,999. So,
which doesn't
yeah, so
necessarily mean we're
I-
doing well, but we then should maybe be in the mid-range of the budget.
we are for a lot of them, but yeah, I highlighted the ones where we're on tier 1. So that'd be materials expenditures per capita, periodical subscriptions held per 1,000 population, and then also public internet computers. So we're below on those specifically. Yeah. I will also say that we do desperately need this increase, I would love for it to be higher. If that's a future conversation of how we
Yeah, we'll
allocate part of
figure
that
out.
fund balance in the OACF. Because we will be falling behind, based on our book purchases.
Yeah.
We had to weed so heavily to make this renovation happen, and we're not gonna have enough money to replenish it.
And you're already in tier one, and then you would need more money to grow from that. Well, keep that in mind, right?
Yeah, so even like our collection size, we're technically in tier two, which is the middle ground that we wanna be in. But again, we did a heavy weed, and then honestly, if we have a mid-level collection size and we have a low budget, that means our collection is old. That means it's out of date. So we should be
Old is good.
not opposed to old, some of it's still good. But if we're talking more up-to-date, nonfiction materials, anything legal, anything medical, that all needs to be purchased every 2-3 years to just make sure we're only having good information out there. So all of that should just be, kept in the back of our minds. Cool. Any other questions on the itemized expenditures?
Can I just ask where it says child books, CDs and DVDs, and then we also have child DVDs?
Yeah, I don't know why it says that, actually.
So I'm just wondering if that's child book CDs, not DVDs, cause it's just $1,000.
It is just $1,000,
Maybe
yeah, I don't know why it
child books
says.
up
Could they buy that many of those? That's a lot.
Yeah, we still do child books, CDs, for like early literacy things. In the future, this will probably change to being something more like wonder books, or like how the audio is part of the actual physical books.
My kids love those.
Those are amazing, I love them, they're so expensive.
Do you know where they fall in there right now?
I think they probably fall in the CDs and
Okay.
DVDs. / we contribute to the Winnifox collection, so Winnifox buys like a big collection and we pay $500 a year or something to have a rotating collection.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Do they last?
they
don't-
do,
okay.
they do last, yeah. I mean, also it's like not our problem if they don't.
Yeah, they'll.
Because they go back.
We didn't buy
We
them.
didn't buy them. But I know that in the future it'll probably be a bigger push, just because again, CDs are being phased out. Not as many young families have CD players. So, yep, conversations for the future. And then yeah, so here's the library card line, like our current order was $846 and we had budgeted $500. And that's just our normal order. Changed nothing about it, it's $846.
Excuse me, how long does, on average, that one order last? How many cards are there?
I believe. I think Desiree put in an order last year, so it lasts us 1 year.
I mean, I'd love to see that we're giving out new cards.
Yeah,
That's awesome, but
but yeah, it's a huge cost. So it's 1,500 cards. It's like 50 cents per card
okay.
is what we're paying. I wanna say it's 54 cents exactly for that. And like if we cut it in half, it's actually twice as expensive. Because
Per
they do it, per card, so it's like if we only get 750, it would then cost us 98 cents instead of the 54. So there's no cost savings if we buy less. So I have reached out to, the 2 other vendors, so hopefully we get something in return for that. Cool. So
Okay,
I'm just out of curiosity, is there anything else we can use for a library card since it's really just the scan barcode that we care about? Or is there any other option where we could
quick
get
trip,
perhaps?
use quick trip.
Well, how do they hand those out at the grocery store and Quick Trip and everywhere they hand them out? I mean,
Yeah, that's what
membership
I,
cards.
yes.
can you let us slap a barcode on one of your other cards you have and then you can use it?
There you go.
Do you have a random piece of plastic?
Yeah.
We did run out of cards when I first started.
That's right,
Yeah.
you made the.
And I laminated pieces of paper. I was like, novelty,
Special
yeah,
card.
special edition card.
The Nancy Bell honorary card.
Yeah, like trade it in or don't. But yeah, so we'll see what the other vendors say when they come back with that. I mean, we have like the simplest version of a library card that we could possibly have. I will say that, like, it's a very basic, just the card. We slap a barcode on it, like,
They
it's as
might
simple
have
as
us.
it can be. Yeah, they last and they work.
Was there a maintenance or a landscaping, maintenance, mowing, what do we have
Yeah,
in
we were
there?
just looking at that.
It is up in the professional area, so it's
So-
landscaper is $3,000 part of the.
And that's the estimate from the people who are doing this, or where did we get that
Yeah,
from?
where do we get?
That's just the traditional number that's been in our budget for year to year.
And what have we always spent?
Oh,
I do not know.
Go ahead.
I don't know, but weren't we working with DPW with that?
What was that?
Weren't we working with DPW on the mowing and?
Yeah, DPW takes care of like lawn maintenance, like they come over and mow and do all that stuff.
And snow removal,
And what, sorry?
snow removal,
And snow removal from the parking
So-
lot.
and we don't have a line for that. They're gonna want us to.
Right, so that, could we find out where that $3,000 was going, because I thought we changed the DPW a while ago.
I don't think we spent that.
So DPW won't cover additional things, anything that is additional upkeep more than a park, they won't do. So any of like, if we have flower beds, any of the shrubs that need trimming, they don't do any of that.
Okay,
We needed to do like get our gutters cleaned, they don't do
I
that,
don't do that.
so,
But they were putting in things that didn't require maintenance, I thought that was the plan, right?
yes, that is the plan with the new things, like we're taking out a bunch of like the
Right.
shrubs and things like
Right.
that, so it's basically just gonna be grass, most of it.
Yeah.
If there's anything additional, if we ever wanna do anything in the back beyond just cement, any of the trees that still exist, if we wanna get those taken out next year, that's gonna be part of the landscaping budget. Like,
But
just to get them taken out.
I'd be curious what we spent, because I don't think we've spent anything out of this.
So you got the gutters cleaned, or is that was just a hypothetical? like-
No, we did
Okay.
get the gutters cleaned this year.
Yeah, I think we should
Yeah.
leave the 3 and just track it, and
Yeah.
maybe find out what we were spending in the last couple of years, I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't recall either.
I don't
have
remember
any
us spending
record.
much at all out of that. Well, we can look the next time we have a meeting, because it'll be on there for year to date, right?
Should.
I'd like to know what it was for though, too, so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it'll be for the same thing, I mean, well, yeah, you're right.
Is
it'll
that
be
something
different.
Sean can tell us? Like, could
And-
you look back at?
And so then, when we talk
He
about,
might, if we asked him.
so when we talk about electricity, gas, water, sewer, telephone,
Yes.
I thought we were going to be more energy efficient. Now, I know that won't finish until next September, is that
Yeah.
correct? We expect that to be done next September, or?
We do, yeah.
So we can't really cut this year's down too much, but we could shave something off of it, maybe.
We could, but so the thing with this is like electricity, gas, water, sewer, telephone have all increased in price. So even if we're using less, so like that's kind of the offset, is like just leaving it flat, hopefully accommodates for prices increasing but us using less. Like even our telephone, you know, we went to like Wi-Fi phones, what is it, VoIP, VoIP? And like that's still that amount of money, even though we're not using like an actual phone service anymore.
Still there.
Yeah, it's just everything's so expensive now, like across the board. So, yeah, that is the hope that next year we will have less, but, yeah.
Okay. So we, at best, we can maybe cut a few $100s here or there, but.
Yeah.
That's not really
Well,
much.
same with the
Yeah,
copier,
it's like
we
we're,
expect some to come in on the copier,
Yeah.
so.
yeah, it's like
Right.
we're to the bone, basically, across the board. We're pretty much at tier 1 for the stuff that we might be able to cut, maybe. But again, like the stuff like the publications, dues, subscriptions is like, we'd be losing more than we would gain in dollars.
So if you, did you add any to the salaries, that pay for performance?
Yes, I do.
You added in what they recommended you add in, what the city said, or what?
No, so I did so the full-time staff members I'm recommending for an increased adjustment in addition to the 2.8%. Basically, like, the scale has been about 3% increase for all salaries.
Right,
So I did an increase what would equal 3% across the board
okay,
to those three
and add that in
specific.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean an additional 3%?
No, so you can earn up to 1.7% of your salary in addition to the 2.8. So you can get a 4.5% raise if it was one person entirely.
Okay.
So what I did was I combined all of the full-time and part-time salaries together for this past year, got a 3% difference between the two, and then allocated the remainder of the 3% increase to the 3 full-time staff members.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes some sense. So they will be slightly over 3? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So it's not, so you're not picking and choosing at this point, the pay for performance, you're allotting it.
Yes.
Make
Yeah.
sense?
So I did the evaluations, and then
Yeah.
based on the evaluations, I recommend who should get an added increase from their COLA.
Okay.
I think that those 3 people were just fantastic, and they really held
Yep.
it together, and they continue to do so.
No, I would
Yeah.
agree with that way to be fair right now. I mean, you'll have to look at it again in
Yeah.
future years and depending who the staff even are in future years, but.
Yeah, in future years, it could be different. I asked Adam and Mary and said, okay, like, can I split? Does it have to be one person gets a full 1.7, or can I specify an amount? And so, yeah,
Okay.
they said it would be fine to specify exact dollar amounts or exact percentile amounts that are outside of the 1.7, so.
You guys on board with
So that's how we got that number. Cool.
Okay, so we're waiting for Sean to come back and see what our fund balance from last year is.
Yep.
That could offset most of that.
We can use it.
We could use it.
Yeah, to offset the deficit. So, I mean, I'm hoping that it's even like $10,000 would be
And
wonderful.
then we'll have to decide where to get the rest of it from, what we're going to do.
Cause it's 16 right now, or we can
Right.
ask for more.
Yes.
You're not gonna get it. I'll
George,
just
you are
shut that down right now. You're not gonna get it.
Could we have a little bit of optimism here,
I
Douglas?
think we ask, we have to
Well, I
ask, we
think
don't
that's
say
it.
we're not
You're
gonna
right.
get it and
We're
not
not.
ask.
We're probably
Well,
not, I agree, but.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's see what Sean says. And if it's, I don't know, 10,000 or 8,000, I think there is some left over,
Mhm.
so I'm optimistic about that.
Yeah.
Then we can look and see, okay, let's ask for a few thousand. And if there's,
Right.
there might be, I'm not hopeful, but if there is something, maybe we could close that gap to a couple of thousand,
Yeah.
3,000 or 4,000, let's say, okay?
Right.
Then we can really sit down and have a discussion on where we're gonna get that money from, I think.
So Sean gives you a number that was, and again, what's left over, we haven't even to the end of the year, so how would we know?
It would be last year's, it would be 2024.
Okay. And it wasn't it like 18 or something at one point?
I do not know.
I thought it was 18.
Yeah, I don't know. And Sean doesn't know either, 'cause I had a meeting with him today.
How could they not?
Because they haven't finished, the CLA
From
hasn't
last year.
finished the audit.
We honestly, I
They're
got
still
that.
trying to get him the audit numbers. They were
Yeah.
supposed to have it back in July.
They-
Sean is big mad
Yeah.
about not having the
Sean
numbers
is
for everybody.
upset, we don't have, fire board,
Yeah.
the fire department doesn't have their audit.
Well, then
Yeah.
don't
Back
push
at-
us to commit to this then, right? How can they push us to commit to something
Well,
if we don't
we-
have the answer from
We
last
know
year?
we're $16,823 in deficit.
Yeah.
And I do believe, and I'm very optimistic about this, there is some fund balance left over from last year. I don't think we'll get it for next year, but for this year there is. And there'll probably be, I don't know, 8, 10,
I think
6
it's
maybe,
more than
I don't
that.
know.
Yeah, I think it's more than.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see, cause then we could use it. And if we're short, well, then we'll have to see if we could get a few thousand more from the city and then try to close that deficit up that way. I don't know what else to do.
For
until we
sure.
get those
What,
numbers done.
I mean, I will say that like we're asking, like this difference is a 2.75 increase in the sustainability, like the financial sustainability that we applied for the grant with, we did say 3 to 5% of an increase. So we're actually lower than what we said would be sustainable.
Well, I understand.
Yeah.
and some of these are a little over, I mean, again, we can be optimistic that some of these will not be as much as we're projecting and that deficit won't. be
Yeah,
as
it won't
big.
be as bad.
Are there dates and deadlines of what, like, do you go to Adam and talk to him about this, just show him what the finance committee came up with and then talk about it? I mean,
haven't
just so
yet.
that
We
he
sent-
knows where we're at.
We've sent emails back and forth, before I calculated the insurance money, because if this wasn't 66 and if it was still 80, we were gonna be very badly in deficit. And so it was at that point, I was like, there might be a huge gap,
Right,
so we had briefly discussed it, it's like,
So we're sure about the healthcare.
so now it's good
Sean
news,
is double checking my math.
and so now it's good news when we go back to him, oh, it's not nearly as much.
Yeah, it's not
so-
nearly as bad, it's not nearly as bad.
That's what he
as
wants to
everything.
hear, right?
But yeah, he was like, if it's that much of a deficit, like, you're gonna have to really think about library hours.
Going to the state health insurance line was a really good idea.
For now.
It has been, I mean, we had to pay the surcharge for the couple years, and now look where we're at, we're in a good spot. Hopefully, it won't fluctuate that much because the pool's so big.
Yeah.
We can only
Right,
hope,
you're right.
we can only hope.
But yeah,
I don't think it looks dire, I mean, I think.
No, we're 16,000 out of a,
Well, and it probably more like 6, yeah, so.
Yeah.
out of a $450,000 budget,
Yeah.
16 is a big number, but we'll make it fit somehow. So just get some numbers and then we'll talk about it some more and we'll get this to bed.
perfect.
But I would be reluctant to commit to using OAC funds to
Yep.
fill it at this time. The board would have to really think long and hard about that decision.
For sure.
Okay,
But yeah, this is like as tight as I could make it.
Yep.
And there's still a $60,000.
We just had some unanticipated expenses, this stuff just went up. I don't know what we can do about that.
Yep, we're all kind of in the same boat with that.
I'm pretty sure every library of our size
And
is
then I
pretty
think-
bigger.
I think we just need to get that money committed.
Yeah.
Designated, the word
Designated, yeah.
is designated,
Or committed.
Designated and committed.
we'll be committed, won't we?
Perfect. And then, so talking about the OACF fund, so I did print out the minutes for you guys from the two meetings where it was discussed. So one is the full library board meeting, August 29th, 2023, where it was actually at the full board where there was a motion made to transfer the money. But then also a follow-up meeting last June, where it was discussed again at the finance committee to make sure that this happened. And then it was never put on the full board agenda again, so it kind of.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, it just fell
Yeah.
off.
But it was the same vote, we didn't need to put it on there
Yeah,
again, did we?
I
Why
don't
would we
think
have
so.
to put it on the full board again? We didn't change anything, did we?
I don't think so.
I don't know. And then the last page, just so that people are aware, I'll bring this up again at the full board meeting. So it's, again, it breaks down into the 5 funds and what all of our reserves and all of those specific 5 funds would be, which would be $300,000. Then there's other upcoming renovation expenses that are not currently allocated with the grant and the money we've already fundraised. So there's about $87,000 of upcoming things that need to be addressed. So getting 10 security cameras to be inside and outside the building for staff safety and public safety is gonna be about $42,000. The donor wall, 2 of them still, that hasn't been finalized at all.
Where did you see?
Digital signage has been discussed in the past, we probably need 2 digital signage monitors, and those aren't part of the grant process right now. When you passed the bathroom over here, you might have seen the out of order sign on the water fountain. The plumber last week, was in here working on the renovation stuff, saw that there was a flood underneath that water fountain. Popped it open, turned off the water, said we have multiple leaks in that water fountain and it just needs to be fully replaced. So I took that number off of the bid that came out on the other water fountain.
Could you get an estimate on replacing that, just so we know?
It's here,
Yeah.
6,000.
Yeah, it should be,
Oh,
it's probably 6,000 would be the
That's
same,
crazy.
it would be the same one we were getting upstairs, that is part of the grant. I did talk to him, he was gonna get us an actual quote, but this is like the estimate that's already on the renovation portion of it. We
didn't pick enough power outlets and.
There weren't any added. There weren't any added, and so with all of our new seating areas, there are several seating areas that have no power outlets. And so when they asked if we would like additional ones, I said, get me a quote, and they're $1,500 to $1,800 per outlet.
I mean,
So I would ask for 4.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and probably maybe 4 isn't enough either, but, I mean, should we just do this right? The money is sitting there,
Yes, I
Adam,
agree.
Adam is salivating over this money, I'm saying,
Yes, and I mean, these are the things we have that money for,
right,
so,
right,
you know,
this is what we saved it for.
So what do you want, double the outlets?
Double the outlets would be, every single table has an outlet.
I would do that,
How
Okay,
many would that be?
so it'd be 8 new outlets.
so it'd be 15,000,
Yeah, I would put it down there like that.
or not 15 apiece, right?
Yeah, 1,800 a piece, it depends on what kind. The quote that they sent me had like data jacks included with just like the power outlets, and I don't think we need data jacks, we just need the actual plugins. So I
No.
asked for a different number, but this is working off of the number they had given me.
No, I don't think we need the data jacks.
Well, no, people, if they have a plug, they have the data jack usually.
So
So,
the data jack
they
would
bring
really be
something.
Ethernet cord.
Mhm.
I've
Oh.
never out in the wild
not
witnessed.
in a USB,
Not-
not USB.
No,
No,
not
it's not
USB
USB.
cord.
Okay.
It-
It's
like the
Ethernet,
data
but
jack
we're
is
not-
just
we wouldn't be
the
using it for
Ethernet cord.
anything.
What was that?
We wouldn't be using it for anything.
No,
No,
right.
It wouldn't be hooked up or wired up to anything.
So-
Right, so that's why I'm like,
You
do
can
we
plug it
need
in
that?
and
Yeah,
use it all you want.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's just
It
using the
did
Wi-Fi, so I asked specifically just for the actual power outlets.
Yeah.
But they had not gotten back to me with a
Everybody
different
can
number,
have
so I'm
converters.
just working on that.
Usually.
And then the stairway safety work that they did where they added the panels, so that it's actually more up to code than it was previously.
Yeah, that's
Like,
really good.
Just that work cost $1,500. And then the staff room in the back is not part of the current renovation except for like the break room. So to get them like actual functioning furniture and a new setup is probably gonna be about $15,000.
You already gave them a raise, what more do they want?
But they want like functional desks.
What? That's
Well, tell them to make, they have to
ridiculous.
make a decision which they
There's
want.
some junk in there, there really is some junk in there. But,
Yeah,
so these are something that would come to us in the future, this is nothing to act on in the moment.
Well, what about
No.
the electrical outlets? We have to make a
the
decision.
electrical outlets I would be bringing to the board.
Let's do that, because once they
Tuesday.
start doing stuff, and
Yeah.
and then we do that order, it's gonna.
So I'll definitely be bringing the outlets to the board, the security cameras for sure. Don't know we're not far enough in that, but I just wanted to like make a list of the things I know are coming, and are going to be pricey. Same thing with like the staff workroom renovation. I know they're working on getting like the furniture quotes for that. So those are like these are like things that need to be done to have a functional building when we're done with the renovation. And then under that is like other things that we should think about doing in the future, probably in the next 3 to 5 years. So like new security sensors, the security sensors have been a true nightmare since I've been here. They're constantly going off, we're freaking out, we have to have Permar here like every other week, and every time we have them here, it's like $120. And all of our, like 1, 2, 3 different sensors are faulty, so we have to bypass them like every day. So probably upgrading our security sensors.
I'm
is
kind of
not-
thinking that's probably, should go up the list of ways, just
Up with
because
the renovations.
every time if they're coming twice a month,
Yeah,
that's like, do the
That's
math.
gonna add up.
Well,
That's adding
And
up.
does any of this need to go in along with other things, like if they go into a room, do you do it all at once? You don't come back and do the power thing and then come back to do the security sensor and then come back to do the next, you know what I mean? You integrate it all.
you would hope that they would do that. They put in a new ticket every time we have a new faulty sensor, they put in a new work ticket. And they don't do it all at once, they like come out as it comes, and it's
I
just,
think maybe we
incredibly
need to
frustrating.
contact Permar and say, we are looking at doing new security sensors and we need to know like what it's gonna cost
What
at
it's
one
gonna
time, I don't wanna be, you know.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I'm guessing the other ones are 20 years old.
That would be my guess as well. I wanna talk to Adam about what security they use at City Hall and see if maybe there's like a bulk, like purchasing of a security system that they also have, or at the other city buildings that they have sensors. And I know
Probably
we
the
can
only one-
package it.
Probably the DPW building would have that.
Yeah, it would have the new stuff as well.
City Hall, you can just walk in.
City Hall, you can just walk in,
It's a part of it, but
yeah,
you have
The
to.
door isn't
you have to-
open though all the time.
No, but you have to be buzzed into the office.
you have to
space.
bust into the office and like, or, yeah, I have like a thing in here.
Right,
But also like even like after hours when the building is closed, like if somebody's yanking on there, if they break the glass, like I'm sure there's some kind of alarm
Right.
system that goes off, so that would be the kind of sensors that we were looking at here. So if there's
Oh.
something that they're using at City Hall or the new DPW building, like maybe they know.
DPW building, I would think
Yeah,
that's something.
So I'll
to do.
definitely ask about that for sure. Library rebranding, I threw that in there, maybe something we wanna look forward to.
What is that, what do you mean by that?
So like we don't really have branding at all, like we kind of use whatever free images we can use, we don't necessarily have a cohesive color scheme. We have a logo, but like our cards are bright orange and then our logo is burgundy, dark green and
That's true.
navy blue.
And it's 20, 30, 40 years old, I
Yeah.
Let's change it to orange to match the cards.
Everything should be orange.
Your card is white,
It's
So
still have a
something
little
like
bit of
that,
orange on it.
cause I didn't touch it for a long time. Talking to like Jay at Winnifox about redoing our website, cause our website is now one of the oldest in Winnifox, it's one of the
I
first
thought
ones
that
we
was
did.
happening years ago, I thought we were on that list, and it was coming, it's coming, and it's still
coming.
not here.
Yeah, so that's kinda what I'm talking about for like all of the rebranding stuff.
What did you put in there? That doesn't seem like a lot of money for all that.
It's about
I don't know exactly what the cost would be, cause it's
Yeah.
too early to do it.
Right.
Additional landscaping outdoor spaces, if that's something that we want to look at, I know that originally this renovation was supposed to be a lot more outdoor space focused, so if that's something we want to think about in the future, that would be something. And then the romper room renovation, because that's not part of this
Right.
renovation, but getting that done. You know, talking to Linda about other avenues that she wants to do, learning through play.
Are you comfortable running those if they happen after? Like, you know what I mean? Like after the contractors have all left and then there's a renovation of the romper room, who then runs that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just,
Um,
we'll get you a hard hat, it should be fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'll just be installed.
Or is there some way to wrap some of this and just do a change order of some kind with that? I don't know.
We can do a change order, there's been quite a few change orders to the renovation already. My only hesitance to adding something like the romper room or even more landscaping is just the timing of it.
Right.
So we're already on such a tight timeline to
Mhm.
get all this stuff done, and I'm already asking for like, hey, can we get additional outlets
Yeah,
while the floor
right,
is open?
Well, yeah,
Stuff like
I
that.
mean, definitely do that,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah, so like for all of that stuff, I'm hesitant to just be like, hey, can we tag on another week of work, because we're gonna be really tight. I
Well, and we
guess.
can't get it approved and the money approved for another month, so that
Right.
puts it back even further, so.
Right, so it's kind of like, do we, I mean, I have also asked for like a quote just to get like this room touched up with paint, which should be pretty fast. They like painted the rooms upstairs in a day, so, but just like touch-ups here, cause like all the walls
Oh,
are
look
dented
at all that,
and-
doesn't that look nice?
So I'm hearing the Nash room probably getting like a fresh coat of paint would be enormously expensive, but would be like a nice refresh without doing too much more than that, and would only be like an additional day to the timeline. So things like that, for sure. Cool.
Alright, so what's next?
So you have to, we have to present this to the board, but we have to have answers first, we have to have some numbers in there that are more final.
Yeah.
And when is that gonna happen?
Sean said that, you know, we were supposed to have the audit done by end of July,
And
but
then,
Sean, I met with Sean today, this morning, we went over a bunch of this stuff, just to like look over that, and he was like, yeah, this looks like it's as good as you could do with all these numbers, like
Okay.
nothing seemed outlandish to him
No,
on any part of it, and he's like, yeah, okay, and so we should be getting our like, he's working on getting the tax levy fund balance and should have it this week, is what he's planning on. So, I think it's either like Wednesday or Thursday, he's supposed to get the numbers from CLA,
And
so,
that'll be in time for
and that would be in time for the board
Tuesday
meeting.
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, there's really, I don't think anything that we can recommend changing, we're at where we're at, right? And
so, have to get some numbers and then we'll go from there,
yeah,
I think that's fair.
so if you wanna provide those, then we can,
Absolutely.
do our thing and talk about it on Tuesday, which obviously we know to put that on the agenda, I wanted to tell you that. I won't remember anyways, it's totally fine. Alright, any other topics for discussion? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion is carried. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Appreciate you meeting.